things tonight. The first one is just a request for direction from the commission. On January 23rd, 2026, the city attorney's office sent a notice to cease and desist to Mr. Jason Voles. The notice advised Mr. Voles to retract certain false, misleading, and defamatory statements related to the city's potable water supply and to cease making these false, misleading, and defamatory statements. Mr. Voles has not only failed to issue a retraction, he's continued to make additional statements in violation of the city's notice to cease and desist. Because Mr. Voles has failed to comply with the terms of the notice, the city attorney's office is now seeking direction from the city commission on whether to initiate litigation. If the city commission directs our office to move forward, we will prepare a resolution authorizing the litigation and place it on the next available city commission agenda.
Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez.
Thank you, Mayor. So I have a question for legal. We know that there's a lot of residents that have stood at that podium with the same complaints, the same comments. So did County Chair Jeff Brower. Are we sending a letter like this to all these people as well? And are we asking them to stop criticizing the city's water? Or is it just one particular person?
Vice Mayor, that's a little bit of a more complicated question to address, but let me just address it sort of globally. When there is potential for public safety challenges, so someone who is inciting the public in an area that could cause a panic about safe water, particularly if that person has taken steps to become a public figure, elevate their status to become a public figure, and they are publicly declaring things that are not only untrue, but could cause a panic. With respect to public safety, particularly with water, it's an issue that candidly cannot wait. There are other instances when cease and desists are sent, typically, a violation of someone is using the city's logo without authority, or, saying the city is, I'm representing the city when they're not. But this particular circumstance involved a person who has elected to become a public figure, making statements that were untrue and that were false in a public platform on a topic that can be can incite panic. And municipal water is an important topic in that most people cannot afford bottled water. Families, children, the elderly, hospitals, all use our municipal water supply. And so if someone is saying that the potable water that comes out of everyone's tap is not safe to drink, it's serious, it cannot wait, and partly it's a topic that, candidly, from our side, we have a civil position. But there's potential other ramifications that other agencies might pursue. So the inciting of panic among the public and topics of public safety is problematic. And this particular incident candidly did incite some panic, which is how we found out about it. So because of that, the letter was sent. Certainly, a cease and desist notice is a warning, advising someone to stop their behavior and making a recommendation to do so. And it really is our only notice that we're required to send. At that point, if we want to move forward, if you all as a commission elect to move forward with further steps, you can. You certainly don't have to, but this is different than a person just standing on the street corner in front of the library or in a park and screaming and waving a sign. It's a different situation. It's even different than here, because here we can address it. We can respond and say, no, our water is safe. Our water is safe to drink. It was the It was the means of communication. It was the public figure who was making that communication. And it was the really extreme communication itself, which said the water of Deltona is not safe to drink.
No different than what everyone else that has come to this podium has stated, even at last night's workshop. And I'm not trying to defend anybody, I'm trying to defend everybody. Because everybody feels the same way. So as far as a person who is trying to reach a different level, we have our county chair making the same comments. So are we saying that we are going to send him an email or a letter as well? Because he is an elected official who is talking about our waters not being safe. So these are things and questions that I'm being asked by residents, so I need to bring them out in the open so that residents know that I'm not trying to protect the city and not playing it safe for the residents, and that I'm allowing residents to drink unhealthy water. This is why I'm bringing this up, because I know where minds are going right now, and it's not true. I'm just asking the questions because they were asking me. So they want to know what's the difference between one person and the other person if they're both saying the same thing.
So, Vice Mayor, that's a great question and a great point. I will say this, if the commission directs us to take action towards the county chairman, happy to do so. We would need to read what he wrote.
But we weren't asked if you could take actions against that one particular resident.
That's correct. Because when we read what he wrote, it was false, misleading, defamatory, and it was an issue of public safety. So, and again, we were made aware on a Friday night. I was getting calls of people in a panic, right? So I didn't receive any calls from the chairman of the county. If I had, certainly, and we were made aware of some sort of panic, people going into the weekend. I mean, and frankly, honestly, the circumstances could have been, if it was Monday morning, we probably would have just, we might have tried to call a special meeting, but it was Friday night, we're heading into a weekend, and someone who is a public figure by choice is saying the Deltona water, it's the only city in Deltona, the water is unsafe, is in violation of law. I mean, I'm happy to, I don't really want to get into it, I'm happy to get into it, but the statements were demonstrably false. And here's the thing, we notified him, and when you send a cease and desist, and we provided information that we received from staff and compliments to the water department, they jumped on it, they got us the information quickly, because certainly we're not technical, we don't know the numbers in the water. They provided us the information and they said, these are the facts, these are the real facts. And when you send a cease and desist, particularly, I mean, we didn't publish it in the newspaper, we sent it to this gentleman and said, the information you're publicly stating about a public safety issue in our city is false. Here's the correct information, and we provided it. So certainly a helpful choice might be to say, that was a mistake, I made a mistake. The accurate information is XYZ. This is what the city has provided, XYZ. This is the truth, this is the true information. But unfortunately, that did not happen. Honestly, these types of circumstances are so fact specific. Because if it had been a Monday morning, we likely would have called everyone to try to get a special meeting. It was the time, it was the manner, it was the person, it was the fact that it was a Friday night going into a weekend. And again, I routinely am not getting panicked phone calls about the water supply at Friday night, ever, really. And so all those factors together, I mean, you know, I sent the letter at 11 o'clock at night. I mean, again, it's Friday night, I'm with my family. I stopped what I was doing. I'm rolling calls. People are worried about the drinking water that we all drink out of our taps. It's honestly, it was very fact specific. So,
but I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your answers, and because, I think it's better when the residents hear from legal, instead of thinking that we're making up the answers. So the reason why I'm asking you is so the people that were asking me can hear it directly from legal, and thank you for answering the question. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Commissioner Santiago, then Commissioner Howington.
Yes, and this question is to the city manager. Is it my understanding that I did see that there was a video out there that was two videos put together with false information?
Yes, Commissioner. Apparently he did, took a presentation that I put out and didn't cut and paste sentences. He actually cut and pasted portions of a sentence to make it look like I said something the absolute opposite of what I said. That was about a week after he received the cease and desist. He took a city video, cut and pasted to make it look like we are trying to make people drink poopy water, and it's not true whatsoever. So, and he did it again, I believe, last night, a second time.
So that's the difference between the other complaints that we receive and other people, is that this gentleman who spreads lies about our city water is not stopping, even after we sent him a cease and desist letter. So therefore, I make the motion to go ahead and whatever you need done to give him to the attorneys, if you want to go ahead and move forward, I make that motion.
There's a motion by Commissioner Santiago. There's 3 people still on the board out of the 3 who wants to do the second, because I know Commissioner Howington, you were up before the motion came up. No, Commissioner Harriet? Second. There's a second by Commissioner Harriet. All right, are you done, Commissioner Santiago? All right, Commissioner Howington, and then Commissioner Nabik.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a concern because I watched the first video because I had heard behind the scenes that there was a lot of conversation taking place, and I asked for help understanding what our project was. And I was kind of put off at the time because they wanted to know who was asking the question. It shouldn't matter. And then, yes, to the Vice Mayor's point, we have a lot of people out there saying a lot of things, and I'm very confused still as to what is happening with our project. I started receiving panicked phone calls after the first video that the city manager did that specifically said that we would be injecting into the upper aquifer where we get our drinking water from. That's not a clip. That was not a cut and paste. That was a video that very specifically stated exactly what the accusation was by this person. Then there was a follow-up video, which further led to additional questions for me. So I have some very severe concerns. We have a lot of people out there talking about our water, talking about, we're in the middle of a PFAS settlement. Well, maybe that's not a regulatory requirement, but our levels exceed what they recommend. So I do have serious concerns about moving forward with this. I mean, there's a video. I can't refute it. I can pull it up right now and play the video that specifically says we're injecting into the upper aquifer. That's not a cut and paste. It is a city video. So, I mean, I'm very concerned because it seems like a lot of cease and desist orders have been issued recently over the past several months. And it seems to be to political opponents of the city or people who are extremely vocal against the city. And I do have very serious concerns about that. Obviously, if we have a problem that needs to be addressed, that's one thing. But it just seems to be that there might be a consistency here in the people who are receiving these letters versus the ones who are not. Thank you.
Commissioner Nabik.
Thank you, Mayor. You cannot walk into a movie theater and scream fire. Essentially, that's what this action has done. I support Commissioner Santiago's motion to move forward with this. If for no other reason, it puts it into the proper venue to be adjudicated and for a decision to be made on facts, not on emotions. It takes it off of this dais. It allows us to move forward with our business and not get bogged down in he said, she said, whatever. By having legal move it to the judicial system, it resolves the issue no matter which way it falls. I call the question, Mayor.
All right, City Attorney, do you need a simple majority, or do you need me to go and have a verbal vote and public comment drawn?
This is going to come back as a resolution for the next
So it's
meeting.
a simple majority?
So a simple majority to prepare the resolution for the next agenda.
All right, do you want to just do roll call really quick, please? Go ahead, thank you.
Commissioner Harriet? Yes. Commissioner Howington?
Yes.
Commissioner Novick?
Yes.
Commissioner Santiago? Yes. Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez?
No.
Mayor Avila?
Yes.
Five one.
Thank you. What was the second, you had a second topic?